aim is to see how high we can actually get. We won't call this a system test, this is a bit of a piloting test, so we'll see whether I can actually get anything above the ground. So we've got everything ready, and I'm going to try not to kill the tow plane, because I've been doing a lot of that recently, and we'll give this a bit of a go. So let's get ready. I've got a bit of cloud. There's two sets of cloud layers, basically from 3,500 up to nearly 10,000. So I'm not sure how that's going to go. I guess if we get into solid cloud, it's going to be a bit of a no-go, or we cheat and we change the cloud levels. So hope you're all having a good night or day whenever it is you may be watching this. And let's get ourselves in the air and we'll see how it all goes. So on your marks, get set, and a break. And here we go. So a little bit of wind there. I really want to look at... Okay, try not to get too much rudder. What the hell's gone on? Man. Just don't seem to have the rudder authority that I need. There's the left rudder in there again. We've just killed everybody, including ourselves. Let's get down. Let's get the bloke a chance to try and take off. The wind seemed to really spike up there just before we took off. So we'll see how it goes anyway. I've got let's see how we go here. I'm trying to do a couple of things at the same time. It's not a good thing to do. Try not to pull him into the ground. Try and get a little bit of trim and try and level up a bit. There we go. So we're up to about 1,000 feet. Maybe we should try a winch launch and see how that goes. I think there is an option for a winch launch, which are pretty exciting if you've never done one. The winch launches happen so quickly. You probably don't even roll the length of the aeroplane before it starts just to go vertical. It's pretty exciting stuff. Do really highly recommend, if you want to go out and have a bit of a fly, go up in a glider. They are so amazing, the stuff that you can do with them. So I'm going to go to, I'm going to try 2,000 or so, and then we're going to see how high we can actually get. This is real world weather currently, short of the fact that I altered the amount of lift, because it was said there was zero lift at the time, so I've made it 20%, the max is about 25, so we'll see whether that works okay. Now the other caveat while we're doing this is I've been having quite a number of troubles. If internet doesn't drop out, my PC's being drawn, so it's not a good time. It's a good time to go buy a new one if we had the money, but at the moment we just have to struggle on. So we got about 2,500. I reckon that's a pretty fair start, so let's see how we go from there. There we go, we'll do a right turn. Actually, I'm interested to know what the powered aircraft does after we let him go. Now, we'll just put our little audio message on so we can hear when that happens. He's just continuing to climb and disappear, so let's see whether we can find some lift. And we'll try and maintain our speed at around that little triangle that you can see up here. Let's just turn around. I don't really want to fly that far away. I just want to try and go up if that's at all possible. I'm interested to see how high we can actually get it to go. And as yet, I haven't really sussed out if there's anything particular on the ground that's going to indicate that we're going to get any particular lift, or whether it's just random. Let's go back over this way and we'll see. Oh, there's sounds like, oh, it sounded like good lift, but it didn't actually do anything. Not doing bad, getting about 30 FPS. I thought we might have got another beta release by now. I sort of half expected it when I fired up X-Plane, but not as yet for beta 6. They've probably got a few things to fix after beta 5 was not as stunning as we would like to have been, but all these little steps when it comes to a beta programs, isn't it? There we go. Oh, we got good lift. Now the question is, can I circle in it? Because that is normally the way. I keep my speed correct. I'm looking to see what is the point of where the lift's coming from. In the real world, you would have some visual clues as well. You know where to look anyway, at least. You'd think somewhere here, where this has got a lot more surface area, you might end up with a little bit more lift here. But being this is ortho scenery, it may not relate to what X-Plane is thinking is a good place to have lift. Now, should at any time the screen go blank during the video, then the internet may have actually died on me. Did that the last couple of times. Oh, good lift. Okay, what are we doing? What have we got? Okay, we want to stay around this here. Can I keep in it, is the question. Oh, there we go. Let's just try and circle around this point here. It sounds good, that's what we want to hear. I'm pretty happy because this is the first time I've actually managed to thermal and stay in it. So that's an achievement for today. Oh, dropped out of it. What's important is noting where the wind was coming from, because it'll blow us in that direction, obviously. So we might have to. This is where if you do a license, you're supposed to go out and do flying around a point. So when you're upwind, you turn a little shallower. When you're downwind, you turn a little bit tighter, I think is the right way. And that allows you to stay basically in a circle around a given point, whether it's an intersection or whether it's a farmhouse or whatever you might be using. Let's try and get a little bit tighter and get back into that. Haven't done any of that for a while, so. But if we can keep in here, we're doing well. We're up to 2,700. We're getting really nice lift. It'll be interesting once we get in the cloud what happens there. Not sure whether the system will know whether there's anything even there, but we will give it a try. We get a bit dizzy doing all this. We're up to nearly 4,000, nearly 3,000, sorry. I'm thinking of a clock. Time, let's have a look. A little tighter, I think. Got the speeds pretty much nailed. Up at about 30 FPS, 31 FPS is good. Probably should have got rid of the clouds. Things gliding in a cloud is probably not a wise thing to do, but that's fine. Hope you guys are all having a really great Wednesday wherever you might be. It's been a busy day for me today. Looking forward to a couple of quieter days the next couple of days, so it'll be all good, and maybe another beta release. We shouldn't be that far away, you'd think. Now, where's my reference point? We need to look for that, because I'm pretty sure the wind was coming from this way over here, coming across, so we'll be getting blown towards the west to an extent. So I think we should be back over here a bit. How are we going? We're not climbing, so let's go. Let's head back that way. Pretty sure we're over here is where we were getting the lift. I'll give that a bash. Flying back over here. Come on. Give me some lift. heading currently is just off south by a bit. It's 150 and 60. We had some good lift here. Let's come on. Where are you? Didn't take enough notice, I think, of where it was. There we go. Let's get in a nice tight turn there. And try and remain in it. There's a farmhouse down there. If we kept circling around the farmhouse and this intersection, maybe we'll get there. No, we've fallen out of it already. Doing okay. Well, we're continuing to climb, and I'm up to 3,250 feet. I'm going to try and keep around here. Come on. I might do a left turn. Let's go left. Find the centre of it and we'll try and get over there. Did I just see my brakes move? Yeah, get out of there. Don't know why it does that. It's really annoying. Okay, brakes are away. I just heard a little click, that's what made me, and I saw the lever move. Come on. Where's our intersection? We're about over the top of it. We'll keep looking. There's a little moan there for a second. See whether we can get this up a little bit higher. Now it could get a bit crappy once we get into the cloud if we get that far. No, there where are we? There we... no. Where is that intersection gone? Where are you? It's got to be some here somewhere. Come on. Not doing so well at the moment. I'm getting stuck here at 2,600. We got up to about 3,000. We lost 1,000 feet so far. We might just keep going this way a bit. There we go. Coming into some. That's nice. We're into it. Let's just try and circle. So you got this triangle, so we know we're just south of that triangle, we're getting some. Turn around a little bit more. Do need to keep on the rudders too, you got to keep putting rudder in. Keep this little ball down here centered. Come on. Here we go. That's good lift. I'm really enjoying having a bash on this on the glider. It's not something I've really done in X-Plane, or even in any of the other sims. You know, I've had FSX for many years, and I tried P3D V3, and that was okay. Come on. Nearly up to 3,000. Where's our little triangle? Well, we're over it-ish. And go straight. There we go. Come on. Give it back to me. There we go. And we'll go left turns. We'll try and be a little bit flatter and see if that takes us up a bit more. We can go nose up a bit, a little, because I don't need to be fast. Come on. See, it was this triangle bit here that we're getting plenty of lift before. See if we can get back there again. Patience is a virtue, I guess. We're over this little triangle piece. This is where we were getting the lift. Come on. Be nice. Play the game. There we go. Back into it again. Let's turn that around. A little bit of left rudder. I'll just shallow that out a little bit less on the seems to be climbing pretty well. Let's hop back in. Well, we're up at 3,000 now. It takes some time, doesn't it? Hope you guys are not finding this boring. It's a lot of fun trying to fly it. As I've said in the last couple of videos, highly recommend you giving this a go if you haven't had a go at it. It's a bit more of a challenge, different skills involved. See, there's that little triangle bit down there. Just come back over that bit of road again. I'll zoom in a little bit on the panel so it's not quite so far away. I really like it set back a bit, but this is probably around where your eyes would be, somewhere here. Come on. Not far away from the airport. The airport's just the circle over there. It's the southern end. Come on. I'm going to try this for a while. If we don't do so well, we'll go back and just land. But I don't like to give up easily. I've got a little bit of time. We can head up there. Now we're very soon going to have a website as well, guys, for Let's Fly VFR. It's something that I'm working on. It's only draining my grey matter trying to work out how to do this web stuff. But that's also proving to be a bit of fun. Hopefully we'll have something nice and professional looking coming up soon with a whole lot of stuff on it. So keep an eye open for it. It'll be it's not out at the moment. You might be able to get to a front page, but at the moment I'm busy working on it, so I should be building it now and not playing on here, but you know, why not? Alright, I'm bored with this. Let's go over this way. Let's see if we can find some more lift. Okay. Maybe the one we had has gone away. So we got Sandy Creek over here ahead of us. Might head over this way towards the Barossa Valley. This is the beautiful Barossa Valley if you've not been with me before. All your great wines, your Wolf Blass wines, and oh, so many. It used to be really good fun going for a trip round all the wineries. But you used to be able to do that for free. That's not the case anymore. Now you've got to pay money, and then you probably got to get a driver to get you around there as well. Get some more. Come on. I'll be happy if we can just get up to the cloud base at 5,000, but it's proving to be a bit harder than I thought it would be. Come on. Doing okay. Okay, coming up to just past 3,300. Doing okay here. That's getting a little bit closer to the cloud. I saw someone else put an example of one of the weather engines today. I think it's fairly recent, and in the default clouds, which is what we're looking at here. And really, I didn't see a great deal. I still am not convinced that I need to spend money on clouds yet with the defaults. And everybody's there's some fairly passionate points of view about that, but I think the descent on the flight was the only thing that did look a little bit nicer. the clouds were a little bit more transparent as you were descending down. That was a little bit more realistic, but it was about the only point I think that I thought that was worthwhile out of a 2-hour flight, I think it was. Well, we're doing good on the climbing, but need to tighten that up a little bit maybe. Where's that lift gone? Come on. It's getting a bit dizzying, isn't it? We're getting up closer. Come on. Might just go straight a bit and see if we can grab some more. There we go. We're just coming on the edge of it. I'm going to wait a moment till I get into it and it's substantial, and then we'll start to turn. It's not bad. Let's just turn and we'll try and circle within it. To read up on the manual and see whether there is any indications. If it's suggestive, any indications for getting thermals, whether you just have to luck it and fly around. Now, it's certainly not a given in the real world. It's not just I'll just fly over that paddock and get lots of lift and disappear into the wild blue yonder. But I think there's a reasonable chance you get to know what to look for on the ground and where you might get some lift. This is the best we've been so far. 3,600 there for a moment. We're getting close to the clouds, so I don't think flying the glider through the clouds is the best thing. And we're trying to keep it fairly realistic as much as we can, so gliders wouldn't be heading into any real cloud. But from here, we've got good altitude. Maybe we'll head over to Truro, which is about 0.6, about there. It's about 0.62. We've got some height, so let's we'll head over that way, and we'll see if we can make it out to Truro without anything PC-wise happening, and just for a bit of fun, because it's a flight that I've done quite a few times in Jabiroos when I was flying for real. And it's not that far. And the scenery's okay on the way out there. See if we can get some more lift. What's that little town? Can't think of the name of it. I've been out there a couple of times. That's some good lift. Come on. Get us up there. We'll head over towards it's at Kapunda, which is going to be around here, Nuriyukta. Nuri's going to be here, Kapunda's up here, and we'll be looking for Anguston to fly over on the way out. If we can get our angles right, so it's about 0.62, and that allows for an 8 of magnetic variation for the local area. If you're interested in magnetic variation, I have done a video on it quite a while back. But as you are around, go to places in the world, you may need to add or subtract an amount of magnetic variation to your compass. So once you sit down with the map and draw a line between point A and B, there will be notes on the aviation map telling you, and even on places on the web, will tell you what the magnetic variation in that area is. You know, sometimes it's 8, 10, 12 degrees, can be a lot more. And you need to either add or subtract that to the figure that you get, and then that's what you fly to get where you want to go. Let's get the nose down a little bit, and we'll just pick up our speed. We'll just work our way around here. Let's try towards that triangle bit of road over there, just see how that goes. I'm trying to look for patterns of what might give us decent lift. So I can see one of the really big wineries over here, which is just over here, if you can see that. I'll just zoom in a little bit for you. And the area just up here is an airport as well. It's the Barossa airport. It's really only a grass field, and you've got to watch out for the tree. There's a big tree in the middle of it. But they have an air show there every couple of years. I think 2018 they've just had one there not long ago, and it's pretty good. I've been out there a few years ago when I was able to catch one. Chris Sparrow, one of the Australian aerobatic pilots that does the circuit, he was out there with his toys. There is another airport a little bit further back here too. I haven't flown to it. They have no buildings, so they're difficult to find. And this one particularly, well, I'm pretty sure it's... Let's zoom in a little. It's up towards the top, because you have to be very careful when you do your base leg if you're coming from the other direction, depending on the wind. But it should be over here, I think. Getting some lift. Continue to climb up. It'd be really nice to be able to make it out to Truro. I have done the Truro flight a couple of times and ended up with either a PC issue or an internet issue, and it hasn't made it to the channel. So don't want to ride on the thermaling though. Over time, I'm going to have to make it a little bit harder and give myself less thermals to play with, and see how difficult that is. Cannot absolutely remember where that airport is, but because there's no runway, it's not actually a runway there, but I'm pretty sure it might be, that's it there. There's a road up to it, and they had the runways were running in here, and there was parking areas and stuff, and a lot of the aircraft, we had aircraft from Gaul to head over there, and the gliders did aerobatics and all sorts of things the weekend that I went. Lots of stuff to see. It shouldn't take us too long to get out to Truro Air Park. Doing good on the lift. That's certainly keeping us up. We're now at what, 4,260 feet. Proving to be a bit of fun, I think. The scenery looks pretty good. Pretty happy with how that looks. I guess it'd be nice if Orbix were to do Australia, but you might have to sell a few limbs to get the get the full coverage that you might want. Great scenery. It is great scenery, but even with the UK as decent size as the UK is, it's really only small in the big scheme of things. And they've done southern, then they'll do central, then they'll do northern England, and then will that include Scotland, or will it that be another package as well? It starts to get built up a little bit, especially if your budget's not particularly large. And there doesn't seem to be much of a challenge here just to keep flying on the heading at the moment. I think I might need to go a little bit further left. I need to go further right. I want to be just over the 60-degree mark. It's probably a little bit too far. And we should head straight over Angaston, which is, well, we've got one of the towns here. I think we should be, if we're flying in the jab and going direct, we'd be a little bit further to the left here, I think, but not massively out in our navigation, so that's not too bad. So we're heading in the right direction roughly. Now we're coming over to the hills here. It doesn't look like much, but there is a little bit of height here. We normally plan to have the Jabiroos at about 3,500 on the way across here if we're flying out to Truro Air Park. So this will be Nuriukta down here, main street running through here. That might be it. There's a really nice pub down here too. It's a fairly big one. Well, it's a bit of a club. Not bad for a trip out, because this is only about 30 minutes from my home. Well, that's when I'm in Australia. So we'll keep heading out here. We'll keep an eye open for Anguston, which could be just to the left here. And we'll head on out through that way. And then we'll try and get ourselves, because this is just a bump. You go over the hill here, which is not very far, and then we drop in the other side, and then we'll be able to see Truro Air Park from there. The actual Truro town is back here still, but it shouldn't take us too long to get there from here. Just keep the nose down a little. We've got good altitude at 4,400. Keep going, we're doing alright. And we have wind coming from, I think, ahead of us anyway, so we're flying into a headwind. But we're doing good. We're doing alright. What's happening out here? Anything? We haven't had any brake issues, which is good. They haven't been popping out on me. I think we have a few more trees than we probably should have out there, a few default ones, but it's doing okay. So we got Muri here and Kapunda up here, and I think over there is the Wolfblass Winery. I think that's it there. It's on the main highway. Getting some good lift there again. Get us across. You guys are all still having a good day out there, whether you're watching me live or you happen to be watching this stream after the fact. Interested to know where any of you guys might be, whether you're in the States or UK or Oz or wherever. Don't be shy, feel free to bang in where you're from down the bottom if you want. Perfectly okay. Let's see how we go. Yeah, well, that looks like Anguston ahead of us, which is only a little place. It's not real big, but it's nice having that little triangle of the three towns. You know, you come over Nuriukta, then you hit Anguston, and then you keep going straight as we are. And we just about nailed the heading, and that is a big mine there on the left. You can see the line of default trees down here that really shouldn't be there. Could always go in and put a mask or an exclusion zone over that whole area, I guess. Could do that within within Overlay Editor and make that a little bit better. It would make it look a bit more realistic. There's trees growing out of stuff, out of houses and buildings. Don't really want that. We're doing well today. Haven't had any issues yet, touch wood. Here we go, climbing again. So we're doing really well keeping the altitude, guys. It's doing well today. And we've got some holes there too. Okay, that's good. Haven't noticed any scenery updates. I wonder if we will actually get Beta 6 tomorrow or Friday. That'll be interesting. Seems like they did have a few bugs in Beta 5. Didn't see the performance increases that I really hoped to see. So hopefully that's still coming. They did promise quite a performance boost way back at the Cosford SimCon. that I saw the video for. That's an interesting place. Went to Cosford a few years ago in the Air Force. Oh, it's quite a few years now. Oh, to the Air Force base. I wasn't in the Air Force at the time. We're doing alright here. Let's see. Our visual range is about 20 odd miles. And I would think we'd nearly be able to see the airport from here. I don't know if that's unrealistic, but it's shouldn't be too long. There we are, we've got some more lift. We can just keep cruising. It's about where the tape is on the canopy, I reckon, on the ground ahead of us. It's just about there somewhere. And there's another airport over to the left a little ways. Could be that light patch, which is similar from the air. It has a cross pattern of runways on it. One place I've not been to. Been to lots of the little airports around here, but haven't been to that one. It's predominantly just a gliding club. And that's pretty damn deep. Just a mine. It's a sand mine or what it is down there. Gravel. Yeah, doing okay. This road goes out and down over here a ways. That is another navigation point there. There's a small town over there with 3 or 4 different silos, wheat silos or grain silos. If you have a look on any air maps, get my tongue untied, you'll find that things like that are pretty prominent on gliding and aviation maps because you can see them from a hell of a distance. And they show you how many. If there's 1 silo, 2 or 3, it indicates that many, and it's really, really handy for navigating. Because I haven't had the opportunity to use an iPad. In fact, when I was flying, and it's been a couple of years or a few years back now, we didn't have the ability to use the iPads. They were there, and they were just coming into fruition. And not the iPads themselves, but the apps that everyone's now using hadn't been approved for just navigation on their own. You always had to have the maps, so you had to carry all your maps and do all your calculations and everything on the maps or on a bit of paper, take it with you. Doing good. Oh, 34 frames per second still. That's pretty acceptable. Anything 25 and up is good. I was only seeing about 20 on the ground. Might pick up the pace a little bit. Let's get a bit of speed up. We seem to keep picking up the lift. Let's get the nose down and go a little bit faster. Getting plenty there as we come over. Down, get a bit of speed up. Get ourselves over to Truro Air Park a bit quicker. It's nice how you can hear that the actual wind increase over the canopy. Very realistic. It's about the only thing you can hear in a glider is the air going over the top. Taking off part with the aircraft in front of you, I'm pretty sure you don't really hear the aircraft in front of you that much. It's quite prominent within X-Plane, but it's probably neither here nor there either way. Wondered whether these windows were operational. Doesn't appear to be. We can open the main canopy, which we won't, and we got the pull there for the cable. Don't know what this is about. come and ride on in the back. That would be a bit of fun, I guess, if you were to do a pair online, and then both be able to fly the glider. That would be a bit of fun. Come on then, let's get some speed up. Get back again. Trim the nose down a little bit and get a little bit faster. Come on. Let's get over there. It's all very neat, isn't it? We've still got 4,000 feet. We can do it some more speed again. We're buzzing around outside. We're just on the back of the hill now. This is the back of the hills. They're not very wide at all. So we'll head over here. Thanks for staying with me if you've been watching all the way through to this point. Lots of little towns and things around that we're flying over. We keep getting lifts, so that hasn't proven to be too much of a drama. We're able to turn the lift down a little bit more and see if that makes it a lot harder to go cross country. Still managing just over 4,000 feet. And these clouds are supposed to be at about 5, so we'll try and keep out of those. We can do that just by keeping the nose down, going a bit faster. Checking our heading. We're a little bit off on the heading. Going to go a little bit back right. But honestly, that's not a big deal because the main highway, if we get close to the main highway, which is going to be running that way, then we know we're in the wrong place. So just gotta, as long as we keep to the right of the main highway, we can do IFR flying, the old I follow roads. This would be a good place to, if we could get a big bunch of lift fly up and see what sort of altitude we can get. It hasn't been that successful today getting lots of altitude. I think that's just technique, they're learning how to do it. There we go, we're getting plenty there. With the height that I have, I'm not bothered about trying to maintain the altitude. From here, I think even if we had no more altitude, we would still manage to get to Truro. Just looking out there for it. Could be it just there. It's still a little hazy to be able to see. So let's put the nose down some more. Really give it a bit of nose down trim. And then watch that speed climb. So that looks like main highway just here, which is, I think it's Highway 1. It's a couple of different numbers. But that'll be fine. So we're up to 120 kilometres an hour. And if you keep to the right of this road, you can't miss the airport because it's set just back off, just here. In fact, that looks very much like it there. Yep, pretty sure that's it. Though it's still a little hazy. Could be there, could be a little bit further on, but that's looking pretty close. Let's go nose down. Let's get some speed. We're heading up to 150. It's about, what, 80 knots or so. This is the fastest way to get around the world. And even for that, we're not really losing much height.